Thank you for joining us. I hope you can hear us and all live on our channels and everything live on P-Town Radio. Let us know if you can hear us. Drop us a text and we can have that conversation. This is our business talk. Sorry, we're running late today. We had some technical issue we're trying to sort, but it's all up and running. I've got my guest today, Pastor Steve. I will introduce in a minute, but just checking if all is going live well. And if you can see us, if you can hear us, please give us a shout so we can know what's going on. So bear with us as we're doing the technical introductions and how it's happening. Yes. Let me just see if the microphone is working. Pastor Steve, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Great to be on the show again.
Oh, fantastic.
Hello to everyone.
Say hello to everyone. We're streaming live from Plymouth, sunny Plymouth, Friday, 7th of July. Can you imagine?
7th of July. My birthday at the end of the month as well.
Fantastic. This is amazing. You can drop us a text on our platform. You'll be able to see, we'll be able to see your text if you have any question on anything. So just follow us on our studio, our Facebook page, which is DBI Facebook page and P-Town Radio Facebook page. Just checking, seeing how, if everything is going well, bear with us. There you go. Right, we are all live. I can see it. We are all live on our social media and platforms. So fantastic. So my name is Jabo Butera, and I'm the managing director of Diversity Business Incubator, and your host as well today, because my colleague Tendai, with whom we partner on this platform of P-Town Radio, he's not available. He's still gallivanting around now. He's working hard. He's been working hard. That's why he hasn't been joining us. But I've got the great privilege of welcoming on the studio today as well. Again, revisiting us with me today is, without any further ado, let me just gonna do the introduction. I'm looking for the bells and everything. So, oh, they're not coming up, but it's supposed to be the clapping and everything going on. It's probably going on the app, and I cannot hear here. With me is Pastor Steve Bell. Pastor Steve, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a great joy to be here, and looking forward to the show today.
Fantastic. So today, again, this is a business talk.
Yes.
As every Friday, we come here to talk mainly business which comes with the financial behind it. But before we start our conversation, we always go with our disclaimers.
Absolutely.
Because it's always good to be in the safe hands and putting all the rules and regulation out there so that we safeguard ourselves, but also we safeguard our listeners.
Very good.
So for those listening to us, our disclaimer is this: the views and expression of our host and guest are reflecting our own views and expression, and not the views of the station as a P-Town radio station. So in other terms, this our views. It's
absolutely
my views as Jabo Butera, and it's your views as Steve.
Yeah.
They shouldn't take it to say this is P-Town views.
Absolutely.
So that's our disclaimer to start with. Secondly, as I say, we might talk about we talk about business, we're talking about finances, we talk about money. We just want to let you know, people, we are not financial advisors.
We're not.
We're not here saying you're going to be quoting Jabo says or Pastor Steve said, and then before that say I made the decision, a financial decision. We are not financial advisors.
Very true.
It's gentlemen having a conversation. But we're talking of a conversation from a perspective of experience. So I'm just going to bring you into there because most people might not know. They just know you as Pastor Steve.
Yeah.
And some may not even not know. And they're like, why is he talking about businesses? Can you tell us in 1-2 minutes your journey, particularly? I know you have the clerical hat on, but it's also the entrepreneur mindset, because they all goes together anyway.
Absolutely.
So tell us about who you are and your business journey and all that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about me. Part of my journey has been in ministry. as most people will know. But at the same time, I've run a few different businesses and been involved in working in corporate businesses as well, and some entrepreneurship as well, in running my own businesses and setting up my own business, including setting up my wife's business and helping her with that, and also helping my in-laws family business as well with settees and furnitures and all of that, and doing many other things in the world of business as well. So one of the things in ministry as well, one of my previous roles was an executive pastor, which in that role, my job was to kind of look after the business side of the church. So we looked after a 12,000 square foot and renovated a 12,000 square foot unit into a conference facility, as well as church facility. So throughout the week, we were serving the community and the wider city in which that was in, doing conferences for people up to 600 people in the venue. So it was a 600-seater auditorium and venue as well. And we had full coffee house facilities, coffee shop, as well as many other things going off throughout the week as well.
Wow. So you are well knowledgeable around. I like this conversation because it gives us a chance to share. You are well embedded and informed and knowing about the adding and the multiplying.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It being faith, it be money, it be people, it be talent, it be. So you are well embedded in that notion of adding and multiplying.
Yeah. So for our last church, one of the ideas was to take that from the level that it was and bring it into. I often use the terminology, you've got in business, you've got a shopkeeper and you've got a supermarket manager, and in business you have to take business from a small mindset to a big mindset. And for us, in our last church, we helped take the church along with the team from a small operation to a larger operation. So by the end of it, it was running around 600 people attending the church, but also multiple different events going off throughout the week. So we would run live shows, pantomimes at the venue, and they're not necessarily things that you'd think would go off at a church, but then you'd have a week where actually within that venue you're seeing around 4,000 people attending because they've got maybe 10 shows going off at different times. And how do you serve that? How do you work that? You've got to have the right business frame for all of that, and the structures and procedures for that, and to see growth and to see that managed to a higher level. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Pastor Steve. So you heard that. That's Pastor Steve Bell, who's in the house today with us. And he was just sharing with you his pedigrees, his grades, and his stripe of life, his experience, his wisdom, what he's worked with. So he's not talking from the thin air, he's talking from that angle, a language of multiplication and addition. And that's what business is all about. And you heard him mention about there's a shopkeepers and the supermarket. It's about coming from small to large. So we're talking about the startup to scale up. For those listening, you know this is the language we've been having here. This is about business talk. So check us on that. Let me talking about our handles where we can find information. And I say we've been talking about this. This program I've been going for. Well, we've been here for quite a while, 2 years now, nearly. Me and Tendai, we've been running this show, and it's both Diversity Business Incubator and P-Town in partnership. So you can check us on our social media, from Facebook to Instagram to LinkedIn to the simple one. Just go on our website. You'll find most of the information, more than just what we're talking about. It's Diversity Business Incubator Just Google that, you'll find it, or dbi.org.uk. Same thing, you can check P-Town Radio, the local station, and the love of the local station, the BME focused local station in Plymouth. And their website is www.ptown.com. Check them up. Check on their social media. Check on their Facebook. Look what they're doing. Amazing stuff. But also, we're giving a call out. Do you want to run a show? Do you have an idea you want to talk about? Is something in your heart you want to share with the community? Because it's about what is it you are giving with others? What is it you're sharing with others? What is it that you're adding value? We're talking about adding and multiplying, because that's the two formula that works in businesses. Adding and multiplying. But that business is in every day. It's not only on the money, because when you go into business, it's about adding your money or multiplying the money you have. But in life, is that the same? When you're in a society, you need to know, what is my adding value? What is my multiplying on the society?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to be talking about. It's a business talk. And we've been here every Friday from 12 to 1 normally, but today we're running a bit slow on the mission. So we're going to do just half an hour because we have this amazing conversation we want to talk to you about. And Jabulani.
Come on.
Jabulani Coffee.
Come on. Let's talk about Jabulani Coffee. Jabo.
Yes, so Jabulani is the sponsor of one of the sponsors of P-Town Radio, and we got some amazing news yesterday.
Come on.
Yes.
Drum roll.
Right, drum roll. It's so exciting. Oh, Pastor Steve, you are one of the allies or the lovers of this coffee, but not only the coffee as a coffee drinking, but in the whole concept of it.
Absolutely. So for us, Jabulani Coffee is much more than coffee. So as I've said before, forgive me, we lead Restore Church in Plymouth, here in the city centre, and we have a big vision to help people. But the reason why we love Jabulani Coffee is because it's coffee with a mission and a purpose, and we love that every bag of coffee, every cup of coffee is feeding into people's lives back in Rwanda, and we just think that's just an amazing cause. And these wonderful women and their families that have been affected by the genocide in 1994 in Rwanda, we just think everybody should be getting behind this. And actually, coffee is something that we buy and have every single day. So why not purchase a great bag of coffee like Jabulani Coffee and actually do something good with that, and by purchasing the coffee or buying a bag of coffee, you're inputting into somebody's life, and we just think that's amazing. And we were so thrilled to hear the news yesterday about Jabulani Coffee and the award that you received. I don't know if you want to share a bit more about that, Jabo.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned something. You say that we all consume coffee. Most people don't realize coffee is the second most consumed product in the world after oil products.
Oh, really?
So anything which gas or petrol, all those oil coming from the oil product, those are the first consumed much. So everyone pump their cars or use that for transport. That's the first commodity that is most sold in the world. The second one is coffee.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Because as you say, most people will drink a coffee.
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
coffee per day.
Yeah.
And this is the majority of most adults in the world consuming coffee every day. Now, so that is the consumption. Now we're saying we're adding on one thing more. Now, the good news, or this amazing news which came out yesterday, Jabulani Coffee, which is a brand which is developed here in Plymouth, sold here in Plymouth, grown in Rwanda, but sold here in Plymouth, has this other element called organic.
Come on.
And it's because of that being an organic coffee, with its taste, it was put on the market, or is put on the test or in a competition or in a comparison with other brands of coffee. So England has so much brands. You from Kenco to Nescafe to all those big names you can call of coffees. they were put on a scale by this organization that is in charge of evaluating what is organic. And the organization is called the Soil Association. It's a charity which was started, I think, 1949, because they're the one who looks at when you say organic farming, when you say organic clothing, when you say who gives that accolade, who gives that grade, who gives say you are organic. And the organization is called Soil Association. And there's been for many years, and they work all across the world. So for you to have that title saying you work with the Soil Association means that the one who regulates you. It's the same thing being in a financial industry. You cannot open a bank or a financial institution without being regulated by the FCO. You have the Financial Conduct Authorities.
Yeah,
that's their job.
Very true.
To make sure you follow the rules. You are not lying about what you're saying, and you're not cutting corners. So organic is the same. It's a really big accolade, but it's regulated by Soil Association. So this year, like every year, they do put on the scale to check who's the best organic in many categories. So from clothing to the farming to the milk to all that. But in that category, there is the coffee. And that's where Jabulani came in.
Wow.
Jabulani was put on that scale. Jabulani was put on that ballot. Jabulani was put on that test and stretched.
Yeah.
And the result is Jabulani came the winner of the best coffee 2023 in the whole England.
Come on. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
That's
so good, the news we are celebrating today. For those who haven't been able to check Jabulani website, jabulanicoffee.com. You'll find all that information, and you'll find how you can get that. Because people are seeing, there is a winner. We want to check it. We want to test it ourselves to know ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's, you can go jabulanicoffee.com. You'll find out. So that's how telling about Soil Association. We'll come to talk more about the organic and the process, how it's done. But I want to come to you, Steve, because we talk about the growth. We talk about in businesses the scale up or the adding or multiplying. What is the first, or one was the most quality you look into an entrepreneur? What would be the most quality of an entrepreneur or a business?
I think for me, every entrepreneur has to have a passion to drive their business forward. And what you can sometimes find in entrepreneurship is people have a drive to take it to a certain level, but they don't, because they're not willing to surround themselves with help to grow and advice to grow. What you find is there's limitations. So people reach, say, a peak. We have a peak point in business, and so everybody has the capacity to take something to some level because you have the knowledge to take it to that level. But to have the knowledge to take it to another level and grow your business or grow that environment, you have to have people around you that can stretch you and that have run that race a little bit further than you. You have to surround yourself with the right people that know how to add into that growth aspect of your business and give you advice. Quite often, a lot of people, they don't want to hear advice, and I think that can be quite challenging sometimes. But your business will only grow if you're willing to accept and hear challenge. You may not like some of the advice, but the advice is actually there to stretch you and make you think outside of the box. So it may make you feel uncomfortable. It may make you feel like the coat's too big.
Pushback.
Yeah, it may make you feel like you're wearing a big pair of trousers and they're about to fall down or something like that.
Yeah. But, it's called the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I hear two things. Here, Steve. I hear the passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the people you surround yourself around.
Absolutely.
My late father always say, he uses these proverbs. So I always tell people, coming from Africa, I grew up with proverbs.
Yeah.
My dad always talked to me in proverbs. Well, he will speak normally, but when it comes to something important, he always uses proverbs, and it's amazing way of expressing. And he always say, "Tell me you hang around with, and I'll tell you who you are." So in business, if you're hanging around, or you surrounding yourself, or you getting advices from someone who does not have your passion or your ethics, that's what I wanted to come to: the ethics or the values. Do you think we'll be going forward?
No, I think if you surround yourself with somebody who doesn't understand your value and your passion, you've surrounded yourself with the wrong person. And what's going to happen in that environment is your business will hinder because you're pulling yourself back. I think don't hear me wrong. There's always challenges in business, and I'll throw another proverb out from you. Like smooth seas don't make skillful sailors. Smooth seas don't create skillful sailors.
Well, you see people on different trajectory. Steve, you can hear he comes from the sailing background, a little bit of proverbs in the sailing. So that is your path. That's your experience. Absolutely. So smooth seas don't make
skillful
sailors. It's not because the water is quiet and then you just go through and you think that's it, I'm a sailor.
Absolutely.
When you become rough, you throw now.
When it comes rough, that's how you learn. That's how you grow.
So a good sailor is the one who goes through the rough.
Absolutely. You have to get through the rough to become the skillful person out of it. And
the more deeper you go in the sea, the smoother you get.
Absolutely.
At the coastline, at your entry point, there is always waves.
There is.
The waves are harder or stronger on the shores.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is a revelation.
Come on.
So when you're entering the market, when you're entering a business, the waves are stronger. The current is pushing.
It's pushing against you.
Yeah. The more you manage to swim through those turbulent water, in the deep sea, it's calmer.
Absolutely.
If you're not listening, if you haven't heard what we're talking about, come on, wake up. We're talking to you, listening to us now.
And let me throw something else into that mix.
Yes.
You see, you get to the smooth seas, but nobody knows when the storm is going to hit. It doesn't matter how good or skillful you are to read the weather.
Yeah.
A storm will hit at any point.
Ooh.
And in business, we face times where a storm will hit, and it may affect our business. And the waves will get stronger. But once again, it's what we've learnt from our entry point that will push us through that storm and take us on to another level.
That's really, really deep. And it's really exciting to hear more. And hey, reach out to Pastor Steve if you want to hear more about that, because there is a lot of wisdom behind there to talk about that. Let me come back to this topic we're talking about with Jabulani Coffee and winning this award. I wanted to catch up on that, the value. Because for you to be able to cross or to swim through those waves at the entry of the sea, I think it's your values which will get you to go through.
Very true.
Your ethics.
Yeah.
And you'll be surrounded with people with the same values.
Absolutely.
What would you talk about someone's values or an organization's values? How important is that?
I think your values are fundamental. I think they are your foundation for what your business is. Without values, you're not building on a good foundation. You're building on a rocky foundation. You want something that is solid. You want to build on a solid rock. You don't want to build it on a sandy option. And those of you who are listening will know the Bible teaches us about where we build our faith and in the same place. But that we can bring that into the business world as well. That actually, if we don't build our business on a solid foundation of values and understanding what our values are, we're going to when we hit the turbulence on that entry point, it's all going to fall apart. Because we don't know what those we lose purpose.
Yeah.
If we haven't got value, we haven't got purpose.
Yeah.
So what
values are important.
Absolutely.
Values are the reason, are the purpose.
Absolutely. And I think, Jabo, I think if you when you're building business or you're about to go into the entrepreneur world, you have to make your values the very first thing that you decide. So you know what your product is.
Yeah.
But what are your values for your product?
Fantastic. Well, this is what we're going to be talking about, the values of Jabulani Coffee. One of their values is the organic.
Come on.
When we talk about organic, a lot of people don't understand. So at the beginning, we talked about this. Again, check their website. I've just put it up there. It's jabulanicoffee.com. Find out more about it. But Jabulani Coffee decided to go organic. They said they're going to only serve organic coffee. So this is one of the values. There are more than that. So there is organic, there is fair trade, there is a single origin.
Yeah.
I can come on that later on in another episode, but today we'll focus on the organic part. I'm talking about all this because I'm passionate about it, and I know I know from day one.
And it's one of your values.
Yes.
It's one of your values, so you get excited about it because it becomes a passion. Your value becomes your passion.
Yes. So organic. Let me touch on it when we're saying about organic. Organic means non-chemical intervention from the growth to the roasting to the consumption. Because this world, what has happened is, yes, technology and development has happened where we can transform things, we can make things with the influence of some chemicals developed in a laboratory. And the influence, the nature, the natural process to create the shape or the capacity we want. So in agriculture, in cultivation, that's the big conversation here, because coffee is a fruit. Coffee is a agriculture product. It's planted as a bean, as a seed, in the soil, and God miracle happens.
Yeah,
because only God knows how to do that.
Absolutely.
You give him one seed, he gives you hundreds back.
Come on.
Put it in the soil.
What a great image, though. There.
Yes.
Let's just pause there for a second.
Yes.
Plant one seed, and God multiplies it.
Yes.
And in business, if you have the faith to plant one seed,
yes,
you'll see multiplication.
Amen. Bring your own. See, this is the excitement about this conversation here on the Business Talk. Our Friday Business Talk it's the embedding of our values. So we plant one seed of coffee, and you bring the nature and the miracle, God's miracle.
Yeah.
Right? He'll bring the rain. It's not you who's going to bring the rain.
No.
He'll bring the sun. It's not you who's going to bring the sun, because the coffee needs both.
It does.
It needs the rain and it needs the sun.
It does.
So for us, we decided, listen, we're going to go for organic. We're working with the cooperative Tongirekawa Coffee. They're the one who do most of the legwork. So for you to be organic, to get that title saying organic means non-chemical intervention. That's the two big difference people need to understand.
Yeah.
A non-organic and an organic product. So when you buy something and it says organic, you have to have the confidence there's no chemical intervention in growing these things. Because as a human being, we are not grown with chemicals.
It's very true.
It's not like they've injected something. So there are people who are doing steroids and things like that. It's not natural.
It's not.
And they have massive negative impact. And it's the same when you're consuming something which is not organic.
Yeah.
The chemical they've used to grow that product get transferred to you.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand that.
No, they don't.
They think, it's the cheap one, I'll buy that. On the long run, you're developing something else because the chemicals you're consuming, the one they were used in the product is affecting you. Now you'll find you go to a supermarket, and then they'll tell you this is organic milk or organic meat or organic veggies, and these are non-organic. And you find most of the time is the organic, the non-organic one. They're the one that go are the biggest and the shaped in round, like the one that been drawn by someone. Nature does not do that.
No, it doesn't.
The potato, which is round and big and all that, that's not the real potato.
No, it's true.
Right?
It's very true.
But on your eye, as a human being, you might be tempted, saying, "Oh, this is the best one." Or an apple. You get the apple, which is all, the good shape and all that. Nature, if it's naturally grown, it won't take the perfect shape.
Very good.
Because in natural growth, you don't get the perfect origin all the time. Not the human eye design. This is the God's design. It's not nature design. So this coffee, Jabulani coffee, is organic. There is no chemical involved. So the values we're working on, because we know when you consume our coffee, we don't want to inject chemicals in you.
I love that saying that you've used that saying numerous times in the last few moments. Chemicals come in to infect you.
Yeah.
And I just want to kind of bring that into the business world as well, because so often we allow things to infect our business. And we think it's going to bring us the right growth and quick growth, but in the long run, it creates something that is not healthy for the future. And the going down the organic route may be harder, but by not having a chemical that is infecting it, you bring a product that is healthy and now has won the award of the best organic coffee in the UK.
Yeah.
So that small seed, and that choice and that value of being organic has brought you to a place where you've got quality.
Yes.
And you're now renowned as a business for quality. And let's bring that into the business world.
Yes.
So often people allow the chemicals to infect their business, and they're not willing to go through the hardship and the longship to get the quality of their products.
There you go. You've heard it, right? So is your personal value as an entrepreneur reflecting in the product or the service you're offering? Check yourself. Calling you out, all those entrepreneurs here. The BME entrepreneurs, I'm talking to you. Check yourself. Are your values reflected in your service and your products?
Well,
that's a good question.
It's a great question. It's a great question.
So the announcement, this award, Jabulani Coffee has just received, and looking at the saying, we talk about the organic element. Is that effort? Is that the value we're talking about? So I can give simple example that way. Say people say, well, you don't use the chemicals. So what do you do? What is it? Because everyone is using the chemicals.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the chemicals is because you're trying to how do you call it? To manipulate the nature. So normally, naturally, beans or coffee, for most people don't understand the coffee. I know in and out now. A coffee or the coffee bean, it's a plant like every, and you have that same cycle. A bean sprout out and it grows, bring flowers. And you know very well, flowers attract insects.
They do.
Including bees, because it's tasty. It has a nectar inside. And those flowers, they mature and they become the fruit. So when you grow stuff, you see the bees, the flowers comes and then the fruit appears. Every plant has got a fruit that cycle, including the coffee. So before the coffee becomes the bean or the fruit, it's a flower first.
Wow.
And they have amazing, beautiful white flowers, very attractive to all the insects. See, the people use chemicals to try to push off the insects who are attracted by those flowers. And again, people don't understand what it is to be they are allowing the pollination and the biodiversity. These are the big languages people are hearing this recently, but it has been going for generation and generation since the creation of the earth. God knew what he was doing.
Very true.
So when the insect comes, they have a purpose. They are for those purposes who are there for the multiplication or insemination and growth. And there's also there's one there for negative purpose. So for us at Jabulani Coffee and the Jabulani farms, the Tongereka coffee, they use another nature to work with the cycle. So people, I don't know if they've heard about a small animal called chameleon. Most people know the chameleon because it changes colors. He adapts to the nature. Most people don't understand that. They never. Hey, if you never heard about it, go and Google it.
Yeah.
So little, it look like a lizard, but special. With just a slow move. It does not go fast. And it has this ability of changing colors to adapt to the environment it's in. It does that because, one, it doesn't want to be a predator. I mean, it doesn't want to be a target of predators because eagles and other animals, they will look for it. But when it's in this environment and change the color, it becomes camouflage.
Yeah.
But also, it does that because he gets a chance to access its target or its food. They don't realize it's a chameleon there. So we use chameleon on this field.
I love this.
Instead of using chemicals.
Yeah.
So nature playing its own role.
God's creation.
Yeah.
Playing its own role. So you're allowing the natural aspect of how God has created this world to flow.
Yeah.
And let's not get too deep, but
yes,
we're talking about the Jabulani coffee here, but there's an aspect of an infection of sin into the world, isn't there? And we've infected God's creation, and God has called us to not be in that aspect, and through Jesus dying on the cross, we've got the acceptance of having a relationship with him and living a life that is broken from sin, but we still live in a world of sin. But what I love about Jabulani Coffee is it's making the decision, the choice to live how God intended to create something, how God intended it to be. Yeah.
So it's deep. It's deep, and what happened is what we've discovered, what we've realized, it's even the chameleon, they choose what they can eat. So they don't eat all the insects. There are those insects that just say no. A chameleon will not attack a bee.
Well,
because it knows the purpose of it. And again, these flowers, the coffee flowers, they're so bright and nice to attraction. And then even when it becomes a fruit, that fruit, the nectar of it, the same way coffee you consume, you taste it, insect, they look for that. So coffee beans are really an attractive for insects to consume it because they look for that nectar. The same way human beings look for it, the insects also look for it. And only when using, so most people go with the shortcut, they go with the chemicals and spread it across so that any insect coming dies. But the chameleon, it's a 24 worker, is there and make sure it's keeping the field organic. So that is one of the effort being put in this effort for Jabulani to become the best organic.
It's amazing.
And you see, it's a hard work. It's a hard demand, but also it's a require passion. You don't do the shortcut. You get your values in there.
And the reward is high.
The reward is high.
Absolutely.
My question is again to the audience. Check your business. Have you got a story you can tell? What is that extra mile you've gone to stick to your values? Because it's not going to come easy and shortcut.
Very good.
What is the extra mile you've gone? Pastor.
Don't compromise. We live in a world that compromises.
Yes.
Don't we? We live in a world that compromises. It settles. It looks for the quicker answer. We talked about infection earlier, and what are you allowing infection into your business? But let me encourage you today, on top of those questions that Jabo's just asked, don't compromise on your values. Never compromise on your values, because once you have your values set, your values are the very thing that needs to stay solid and unmovable.
Yes.
And in your business, you need to allow those to develop and grow into forming your business into a great strength that it is.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's always when you're having fun, time seems to go faster.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. We're coming to end our show. Although we'd love to continue and talk about this, but it's been an amazing time. So for those listening to us, for those following us, you can always revisit these. They are on both platform, P-Town Radio platform. You can check on their YouTube page. You'll find all these episodes recorded there, as well as DBI YouTube page. These are their assets for you. Share with others. For those who didn't hear this and you heard it and you're finding it interesting and it can be beneficial to someone else, please share. Share is caring, says the little ones, but all of us, we know that. Sharing is caring.
Very true.
Pastor, what will be the last or one of the quote you'd like to share with
one of the
audience? I'm passing you my African heritage. We speak in proverbs. So what is your proverb for today?
I think I'm gonna remind people of the proverb I said earlier. Smooth seas don't make skillful sailors, and I want to leave you with that today, because you may be going through a storm, you may be going through a rough time with your business or even life itself. But I want to encourage you that you will come through the storm, you will pass through it, and if you keep the course, I know from my own faith, God always is stable, and God helps us journey those paths. And if you're not a Christian and you're listening to this today, what I do know is this: if you stay steady and keep the course, you will come through the storm.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Pastor Steve. Smooth seas don't make skilled sailors. That was the quote of today. Check your sailing. And again, thank you for joining us. Myself, Jabo Butera, and Pastor Steve, we're saying to you, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful Friday, and have a wonderful week. Goodbye and take care.
Goodbye.